Well, the Obama administration and its top officials continuing to make light of the political scandal surrounding the IRS, calling it a phony scandal, that and all the others. So what do the comments mean to the victims of these so-called phony scandals? Let's bring in Kevin Kookogey, whose group, Linchpins of Liberty, was targeted by the IRS. He joins us from Nashville today. Hey, Kevin.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me back.
It's great to have you. So I'm sure you just heard a couple of minutes ago, we played the soundbite with the Department of Treasury Secretary Jack Lew saying there's no evidence that this was political. It's a phony scandal. How has this phony scandal impacted you, Kevin?
Well, Steve, Augustine once wrote that sweet were the visions of absurdity. The only thing phony about this scandal is how the Obama administration is handling it, pretending that we have not had our constitutional rights violated. Yet for 31 months, the IRS continues to obstruct and delay my application for tax-exempt status.
Wait a minute.
As to the evidence...
31 months later, you would think that with all the news coverage of how the IRS had essentially put on hold all of these Tea Party and Liberty groups and your group as well, you would have thought they would have gotten some of them passed. But it's 31 months later and still nothing for you?
Yeah, you would think if you were in their position that as soon as this came to light in May with Lois Lerner's apology, why wouldn't they have let it gone through to avoid the scandal? But no, they continue to tell the lie, and the lie gets bigger and bigger. But fortunately, Steve, the truth doesn't depend on what the Obama administration says it is. And if they don't master the truth will master them.
Well, Kevin, this is not phony to you, because when you look at what this has happened to you, I understand that you did lose a $30,000 grant because of your testimony about this not-so-phony scandal. But tell me what happened the day after you testified.
Yes, as you noted, the $30,000 grant that I testified before Congress was bad. But if that was to make bad matters worse, on the day after I testified, I received notice from my biggest client, which is about 75% of my business, that due to my very public expression of my political views in defending myself, that I would be losing that business. So I'd like the Obama administration to tell my family that this is a phony scandal.
That's something. What about the soundbite we played just a couple of minutes ago where Jack Lew said, there's no suggestion, no evidence that this is political, and yet the one political appointee at the IRS, the chief counsel, Mr. William Wilkins, apparently nobody's talked to him. Nobody's asked him if he was involved in it.
Yes, well, as Carter Hall testified about 10 days ago, there was a meeting on April 24th, 2012 in the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, which, as you know, is part of the White House complex. That meeting lasted for over 8 hours, and it was attended by Doug Shulman and 2 other IRS staffers. The very next day, on April 25th, 2012, William Wilkins, the political appointee of the Obama administration, issued new guidelines for how these conservative groups were to be treated.
Sure. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. But I tell you what, Kevin, the thing is, if it's a phony scandal, why are all these officials taking the fifth? Because that's real.
Exactly, taking the fifth for something that's phony. And remember, it's a contradiction of how this all started. It was Lois Lerner's apology, her orchestrated apology, which the administration believed that they were going to sneak through on a Friday afternoon, that everyone would forget by Monday. This is how it all started, and now the administration is saying it's phony.
Well, you, for one, not buying it, and I'm sure that a lot of our viewers right now aren't as well. All right, Kevin Kookogey joining us today from Nashville. Do you have a special message before we go?
Yes, I do. Thanks for saying that. It is my wife's birthday today. Happy birthday, Bonnie. I love you. Thanks for reminding me, Steve.
Look at that. I just saved you buying her a $4 Hallmark card. Way to go.
Thank you very much.